Ricky Anthony, you're watching Mariners TV.
John, a 6-0 win tonight. I'm sure you're not getting too carried away by the scoreline, but we're through to the next round. Must be very pleased with that.
Yeah, of course. The Youth Cup is the competition that the lads want to go as far as possible in. They want as much exposure. The club gets exposure, all the things that go with it. Great opportunity for them to get the names in the headlights, I suppose, and in the headlines. But yeah, the performance itself in spells was a little bit disappointing. So like you said, we're not going to get carried away with it. The scoreline probably flatters us a little bit, especially being 3-0 at half time. I think that was a little bit harsh on Darlington. I think we started really bright. We scored a goal early doors and we looked like we could potentially dominate the game. And then the lads took the foot off the gas, and you can't do that. As we're seeing at every level. So yeah, it was a little bit harsh on Darlington, like I said, to go in 3-0 up. But the second half, the lads have come out, spent 10 minutes working really hard to then create their spaces, and they've dominated the last half an hour with some really good stuff.
The goalkeeper came off injured in that first half as well. Had to put an outfielder in goal. It's sometimes hard in that sort of situation not to get complacent when you see an outfield player going in goal. Yeah,
I'm sure, like you say, some of the lads obviously you do, and again, I've done it as a player. If you see somebody in goal who's either struggling or maybe not supposed to be in there, not used to being in there, your first thought is to let's put them under pressure, let's get the ball on top of them. But at the same time, you can't rush that process. You've got to still play the right way, build that opportunity, and then stick it on him. But the lad that's got in goal, you can see he's a little bit uncomfortable, but he's tried. He couldn't do anything about the goals, I would say, that's gone past him. And then I say later on in the game, we found that little bit of ruthless edge that we needed to maybe rack up the scoreline. But also there was some really good football played in that final 30 minutes. So.
Over the last 2 years, this club's had a couple of really good runs in this competition. Do you think there's a bit of pressure on these players as well to try and sort of emulate that?
Not necessarily emulate the run. Again, you can only judge yourself against yourself, and it's about their run. It's not about them kind of going off and trying to live up to what the lads did last year or the year before. It's about just seeing how far they can go and how much they can show us and the management that they're improving as players. We always say the same at this club. It's not necessarily about the result. It's about the performance. Yes, in the Youth Cup you'd like to go far, and it should almost become that win at all costs, but it's not the way we do things. So no, I'm sure that they would like to go on that run, and we'd love them to get as far as possible. But it's one game at a time. We've got another away draw next, so it'll be good to get them out on the road together and see how far they can go.
Despite the fact it was a 6-0 win tonight as well, I guess he'd have told the lads where they can improve on after that performance, and I guess that's the sort of thing they're going to have to get used to, being the South Shields player, that they're always going to be striving to be better.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I've been on some great runs of form in this club, and had the management still come down on us about improving. As we said, it is about performance more than result. There was some, like I said, there's some big things out there tonight that have disappointed us at spells. And like I say, it's harsh to say that maybe after a 6-0 win, but we've also watched a game today where some of the other lads have played against Pontefract and won 7-1 and put in some fantastic performances. That was a real solid start to finish performance, and some of the 17s that maybe were disappointed not to be here, they've staked a claim for a shirt. So the best part about today is that we've got two fantastic results for the club. The lads have given everything they've got. Not one of them shirks the effort or challenges. But it's give us a little bit of a headache going forward as well. So people are staking claims, people are understanding this is the game. Your shirt's never safe. It's never yours. You don't own a shirt in the first team or in the 18s or 19s, because somebody's always chasing you. And that's the kind of environment we've developed. It's about obviously improving those players, it's about developing them, but making them also understand what it is to be professional. And that's fighting for your shirt every single day, whether that's training or games.
Looking ahead at the next round, obviously a long away trip next round, another experience, something to sort of deal with. I guess you're looking forward to that sort of experience to see how they handle that.
Yeah, that's a good one for them to stick together as well. Hopefully, it's not the greatest to travel at the minute with they go on a minibus and things like that. But what you find and what the lads last year were great at, and what we like as a first team in the club, is that we build that camaraderie, that teammate, that bond. And when you're crammed on a minibus listening to bad music and having a laugh and a joke, the lads will knit together that little bit more, and hopefully they get back on the bus at the end of the game and celebrate all the way home.